Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Look, man, the damn WBO, IBF, they're playing games, but especially that WBO. They're playing games with Parker and Dubois. This is getting old. It's getting annoying. Make a decision. Now, if you make Parker the mandatory, my thing is this, right? I understand establishing mandatories. But if you're going to allow the promoters and the fighters like Dubois and Usyk to petition for the undisputed distinction, right? Which there's a 99% chance the WBO is going to allow it. Because we know it's something Turkey Usyk wants, Usyk wants. There's more money there. That means there's more money for the sanctioning body. This is the only thing with me. Why not just have that conversation before getting your mandatory all worked up? Like Parker was so excited knowing he's the mandatory, especially thinking he was going to fight Dubois. Has a good chance of winning that fight. Then go on and fight Usyk for undisputed, right? He's so excited. Then you kill his dream of becoming a two-time heavyweight champion and fighting Dubois. Then you kill his dream. Then you get his hopes up, thinking he's going to get a chance to fight Usyk to become unified heavyweight champion. And then you come and you kill his dreams again by saying, more than likely, we're going to push for Dubois and Usyk. Like, why not have that conversation with promoters and Turkey Usyk and everybody, and even with the mandatory, and say, look, this is just a process we follow. However, we're going to go this route. Because now you got Joseph Parker, who's probably going to be doing like Terrence Crawford, sitting on the sideline, waiting to fight the winner. So Usyk and Dubois will fight. Whoever wins, which I think Dubois will win, they'll be fresh, they'll be active, and then now they're going to come and fight Joseph Parker, who will go into an inactive state. Yeah, he's going to sit there and keep busy. He's not just going to stay on the sidelines and develop a lot of ring rust, but he's going to do things to stay busy, to stay engaged, so when his opportunity does come, he gets back in training camp and he's firing on all cylinders. But when you hear Frank Warren come out here, and that's why I got a picture of Derek Chisora on here. This is why I said they're playing games, man. Frank Warren saying, well, there's no guarantee that Dubois and Usyk's going to happen. Let me tell y'all something. If it's what Usyk wants, it's going to happen, okay? It's simple. Dubois and Usyk are going to meet again. Now, the IBF ruling, which there are some people out here who aren't quite sure if this has been substantiated yet, but the IBF has ruled, or it's rumored that they've ruled for Derek Chisora to be the mandatory to Daniel Dubois. Let me tell you something. Look, I like Derek Chisora. The fact that he's still around here being the Cinderella man, getting wins and doing the business, man, is outstanding. But I just don't understand how he becomes a mandatory for the IBF. But, it just lets you know that the secret society is in full effect. And that always expect the unexpected when it comes to boxing, man. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But the bottom line is, if you watch Frank Warren, he promotes Parker and he promotes Dubois. Frank Warren's going to try to do what's best for him and also his fighters. And he has Chisora. I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up making Dubois and Chisora, because Dubois will more than likely beat him. Have Parker fight Usyk, which is a good chance Parker loses that fight. And then Dubois fights Usyk anyway. Man, I tell you what, this game stuff needs to stop, man. And I understand that they have to request the WBO, right? They have to request for the WBO to allow Usyk and Dubois for that fight to go forward. I just don't understand all of the semantics, man. Because to me, 4 belts is a priority. You know what I mean, for obvious reasons, and I think that's the direction that it needs to be going. But you got to look at where the money's at. If they're going to, what would sell more, Usyk and Parker in Riyadh? They both are going to make a lot of money, but Turkey Al-Sheikh ain't really breaking even on nothing. If they do Usyk and Parker in the UK, that does pretty good just because the UK fans love Usyk. They love Parker. But really, you'd have to take that fight to New Zealand. And I don't know if it's can really make the kind of money they were hoping for fighting in New Zealand. But the real money fight is Usyk and Dubois. Right there, back in the UK. You know what I'm saying? It would sell out Wembley, and it would do, and even in Riyadh, it would do well. The bottom line is, if you ask me, man, when I take a look at it, although there was some controversy between Dubois and Usyk in that first fight, I don't think there's any controversy or any argument about which fight makes the most money and why there shouldn't be any games between this WBO, IBF. Who's going to be the mandatory for Dubois, the mandatory to Usyk, Derek Chisora, Parker, just kind of in the breeze like that. This shouldn't be going on. But the bottom line is the big business is with Dubois and with Parker. And Usyk. Dubois and Usyk for Undisputed. That's where the big money is, man. You know, so I think that's going to be the number one choice. And I think that's what they're going to come out here and present to us. Some people are going to be pissed off, man. Hey, I get it. You want to see Parker fight Usyk. But just how frustrating would it be to see a guy like Chisora, 36 wins, 13 losses, with 13 KOs, for him to come out here now and be contending for them IBF strap against Daniel Dubois. And I get it. He beat Wallen. It was an IBF eliminator, but how crazy would that be if he ends up getting the fight with Dubois, which I think Dubois beats him. Chisora gets hit too much. He can't take shots from Dubois. But anyway, the game shit needs to stop. If you ask me what should happen, you know what? If we're going to have 2 mandatories out there and we're pushing mandatories, let Dubois fight his mandatory. Let Parker fight Usyk as the mandatory to Usyk. But if we're going to really put the focus where it should be, then let's focus on the undisputed distinction and just quit getting guys like Parker's hopes up, Chisora's hopes up. Matter of fact, but Parker and Chisora already fought before. I think, once or twice? But they fought before. So it's just all bad, you know. Anyway, y'all keep cool. The shit is a mess. I'm in the breeze.